Over the last 50 years, women have continued to pave the way, push the boundary, and become the forefront of the conversation. From playing to coaching to advising and so much more, women have made history in sports. Now it's time to put that history on full display and allow these influential women to tell her story. I'm Brie Andras, and as a woman in the sports world myself, I know there's so much more to these athletes and those that shape them other than what they're able to do in competition. While the buckets, stuck landings, home runs, and wins on top of wins do mean a lot, I'm looking to find the story of how people got to where they are in women's sports and how they've seen the game grow. I'm also looking to find out who they are behind their sport. This is the Her Story podcast. Coach Tonya Johnson, welcome to the Her Story podcast. How are you?
Great. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for being a part of this podcast. So your guys' season is about to get started pretty soon. What are you looking forward to most about the 2025 season?
I'm just looking forward to watching this team gel and come together. We've only been training for 10 days and we're starting to see some really, really good things. So excited to get another opponent on the other side of the net to see where we are.
You have a lot of history here at LSU. You played here yourself in the 80s and 90s. You also assistant coached here. Just what was that experience like for you?
Well, LSU was my dream school. And so it was a dream of mine to compete here. But also a dream of mine to come back and be the head coach here. And so I could not have written a better story for myself.
You're from Zachary. So did you grow up, with kind of LSU running through your veins?
I did. I played club volleyball back in the day, and just so happened the volleyball coach here at LSU was our club director. And so I spent a lot of time on campus. I spent a lot of time watching them train, and just as I continued to watch them and fall in love with the game, LSU became my dream school.
What was LSU volleyball like whenever you played here?
It was amazing. I had incredible teammates who we went to battle for each other every single day. We won a couple of SEC championships. We went to the Final Four my senior year in 1990, and then they won again in 1991.
And then whenever you took on the assistant coach role, what was the main thing you wanted to learn from that position?
Well, I think most importantly, one was growing the game in the state of Louisiana, but two, also making LSU volleyball great again. And that kind of was our desire when we got back to LSU, when I got back to LSU as an assistant coach.
What was the biggest learning curve, I guess, going from being player to coach?
I think the biggest thing was just learning how to connect with the players. I think a lot of what we do in this day and age, I think as head coaches, we wear many hats, but we manage people, and learning how to connect with this younger generation, to me, has been one of the most important things.
You also served some time coaching at Texas as associate head coach and kind of helped build that program into being a powerhouse. Do you take a lot of pride in just the contributions that you and the rest of the coaches have made?
Absolutely. My experience at Texas was incredible, working for Jared Elliott, who is a very good friend of mine. And what I learned there and just the experience that I had there was incredible. And so I take a lot of that with me, and I use a lot of that in how I coach today.
You said that being the head coach at LSU was a dream of yours. Just what did it feel like back in 2021 whenever you were offered the job and accepted it?
Oh, it was beyond belief. I think there are very few of us who get the opportunity to come back and be the head coach at your alma mater, and I could not be more grateful for the opportunity that Scott and his administration gave me to do that.
Whenever you came into this program as the head coach, what were you looking to implement, change in order to make it into the best it can be?
I think one of the things that my staff and we've taken a lot of pride in is just building this thing right. And I really and truly feel like we have the pieces this year to have a very successful season. I think we have a great mix of old and a great mix of new. And again, as I mentioned earlier, just trying to bring that together and get them to gel and play as one. and that part has been really, really fun these last few days.
You were also a part of recruiting whenever you were at Texas. What do you think it takes to be a good recruiter in college, especially with volleyball?
Connecting and being a people person, and having the ability to connect with them and understand them and what they're looking for in their next phase of their career. And so being able to connect and establish relationships has been really, really important to me, and I've brought that to LSU with me, and I think my staff does an incredible job of doing that as well.
Do you think just maybe the brand of LSU in general kind of recruits itself in a way?
Oh, absolutely. I think the success that LSU's had, specifically in female sports, has taken on a whole new level, starting with women's basketball winning the national championship, and gymnastics winning a national championship. And so I kind of feel like those sports just put us back on the map with the LSU brand, and everybody knows the LSU brand, and everybody wants to be a part of that. And that's been the fun part in recruiting, is being able to sell our brand to our recruits and getting them to understand that we have really, really done a great job of diving in headfirst to the NIL and to the rev share and all of that. And I feel like we are not catching up. I feel like we're right there with everybody else.
What does NIL look like for LSU volleyball?
Well, I would tell you, as always, as a head coach, you always want more, right? But I think LSU's done a tremendous job of really, really looking at all the sports and figuring out what everybody needs. And is it fair? I don't know that it will ever be fair. You look at football, and we know that football brings in the money. I'm not naive to that. I understand that, and I cheer loud for football. But having the opportunity to get our players, our current players in that space, has been incredible. And with us having a full-time staff, they've been able to put their focus on us as well.
And you talked about just kind of the growth of women's sports here at LSU. It seems that volleyball has really grown. You guys broke some attendance records last year.
Yep.
I think the game against Texas was a really, really big crowd, over 3,000. What has that been like to see from a first-hand perspective? Oh,
just watching the growth, but a lot of that has to do with each year we've gotten better, and I think that's important. I think the people of Louisiana and the pride and tradition associated with LSU is winning, and we know that we have to win to put people in the stands and get people out here cheering for us. And so I would encourage people to come out and come watch some incredible volleyball, because I feel like, again, we have the pieces in terms of the athleticism, and I think what we have is really special.
And you guys really have improved. I mean, your first season here, you guys made it to the NCAA tournament, and you guys won your first match since 2014 that year. How did that kind of set the tone for what was to come now?
Well, it was an incredible year, in terms of some of the ranked teams that we beat, and obviously beating Hawaii in the first round of the NCAA tournament. And we were hoping to build upon that our second year, and that didn't happen. But I love the improvement that we've made the last couple of years in terms of the players that we've brought in and how we've built this thing. And so I'm excited to see all of that come to fruition.
Your team also has been recognized as having some of the highest GPAs among LSU athletics in general. You really seem to take pride in the education that your girls get. Why is that so important to you?
Because I promised their parents that first and foremost they will get a college degree from LSU, and that's important to me. And so I love that our players are just as competitive in the classroom as they are on the volleyball court. And they take that seriously, and it's one of the things that we take a lot of pride in, is making sure we take care of business academically, because volleyball's not forever, but what you have to fall back on is.
Last year, you guys were 15-12 overall. How are you looking to really build upon that going into this year?
Well, obviously the goal is to go to the NCAA tournament this year, and I felt like we were close. Last year, I felt like we needed to win 3 of our last 4, and we ended up winning 2 of our last 4. And so I felt like we were right there. And so hopefully we can get over that edge this year and do the things that we need to do and win the matches that we need to to win, to put ourselves in that position.
And you've coached in all kinds of matches, from national championships at Texas to you've played and won SEC championships. Do you kind of bring that knowledge to your team and saying, like, because you know what it takes to get to that point?
Yeah, I try to share that with our team, just in terms of speaking from experience, to just kind of prepare them for that stage. So that they need to understand that it's okay to be nervous. It's okay to feel that pressure. Pressure is a privilege, and so getting them to understand that those feelings are normal and how we deal with them every single day is how we get over that hump.
What are you most proud of in your time at LSU so far?
I think the thing that I'm most proud of is the fact that we've graduated all of our players that have come through here since I've been here. As I've mentioned before, that's super important to me. But I'm also most proud of the connections and the relationships that we've built with our former players who are no longer here, who still keep in touch. And it's fun to see them. They're getting married and having babies and all of that stuff. And so they'll forever be a part of the LSU family.
Where have you seen the most change in just the game of volleyball at the college level?
Paying the student athletes. And we're always fast to follow suit after football and basketball, and we're usually 2-3 years behind, and we're right there now, and so there's some players in our league and in the Big Ten that are making big bucks right now, and I love that for our sport.
I know in other programs, volleyball is like I know in like Nebraska, volleyball is a really, really big deal, has a very large following. Do you hope to help build something like that here in Baton Rouge?
Absolutely. It would be awesome to play in front of 6,000 to 8,000 people night in and night out, like Nebraska does. And so I think we have to get people to understand that volleyball is so electric and it's so much fun to watch, and you get to see the girls' true athleticism. And once you come out, if you've never been to a match, once you come out and watch a match, you get hooked and you continue to come back. And I want people to fall in love with that.
What new additions do you have on this year's team that you think could make a big difference?
Well, I think the first big addition that we got was getting Nia Washington, the transfer from Ole Miss. She's a Country Day grad out of Metairie, and she was first team All SEC and honorable mention All American. And so having her become a part of this has been huge. I think Tyra Smith from South Carolina, who's a right side for them, they made the NCAA tournament last year, is another big addition for us. But we also have some freshmen who are going to come in and probably contribute very early in their careers. And Kyla Brown, who graduated a semester early, who's a setter, who has had a really nice spring and is doing a really nice job this preseason. And so I think, we like I said, we have a good mix of old and new to kind of bring together and grow together, and it's been fun to watch.
We were talking earlier, as someone who didn't really grow up around a lot of volleyball, I was telling you that it's pretty easy to catch on to and follow for someone that doesn't know a whole lot. I've learned a lot just by watching. Is that something that you encourage? Is why you encourage fans to really take a look at you guys, because it is so fun once you catch on?
Absolutely. The energy and the electricity, and again, how fast-paced the sport is. When I played, we were side-out volleyball, and the game was a little bit slower. Now that we've been in rally scoring volleyball, the game has gotten a little bit faster, and so I think it's fun to watch. And like I said, I want to encourage everybody to come out and watch us play this fall.
Do you mind explaining the difference between the two?
Side-out volleyball is you have to earn it, and you have to serve in order to get the point. And rally score doesn't matter. So every point counts, whether you're serving or not. And so that's the difference between side-out volleyball and rally score volleyball.
About how long do you think that rally scoring has become the norm?
I would say in the late 90s. Okay. Yeah, late 90s, early 2000s.
So, like you said, it's easier for fans to understand.
Absolutely. Knowing that there's a point for everything.
Right.
So everything is a point, which makes it a little bit faster. Whereas in side-out volleyball, it was always a little bit slower. But we also, we didn't play to 25 either. In rally score, you play to 25 to extend the game a little bit longer. So But I do like rally score volleyball. I do like how fast it is. I do like the fact that there are going to be errors made in the match, and obviously the team that makes the least amount of errors is the team that's going to win.
I want to take it all the way back. When did your volleyball journey start?
Gosh, I played volleyball in middle school, but I was always a big basketball fan. My first love was basketball. I have 2 older brothers who played basketball, and so I thought that would be my sport. And I did get recruited in basketball by some smaller schools, but I got recruited by bigger schools in volleyball. And as I mentioned earlier, I started playing club volleyball, and the club was run by the head coach here. And so, we would train after LSU would train. So I would get here early and watch the end of their practice before our practice. And so it made me fall more in love with the game and realize that this was a dream to come here and play here.
Has there been any coach or teammate or even a player that you've coached that's really kind of influenced, the coach and the player that you became?
I think Fran Flory, the previous head coach here, is one of my dearest friends today, and she's always been a mentor to me. And she was an assistant here when I played, and she knew that I had a desire to coach. My dad coached and taught for 35 years, and it was something I've always wanted to do. And Fran told me when I get my first big coaching job, I'm going to hire you. And I'm like, okay, all right, Fran. And Fran held true to her word. She was at Kentucky going into her 3rd year and had an assistant spot open up and called me. I was teaching and coaching in West Palm Beach, Florida, and that's all she wrote. And here we are, almost 30-something years later.
Do you think, LSU, you said was your dream job. Do you think this is, where you want to just stay?
Oh, this is it. This is it. This is my last stop. This is it. This is my dream come true, and we're gonna work our tails off to build this thing into something special.
What do you think it takes to be not only a good volleyball player, but just a good coach in general?
Oh, it's hard work. What are you willing to put into it so that you get what you want to get out of it?
Anything else that you really want to accomplish in your coaching career? Obviously, winning a national championship like everyone, but maybe just where you want to see this program go over the next few years.
Yeah, I want to see us being in the top 15 consistently in the next few years, and making sure we get the right kids in here to help us do that, because I do believe we have the right resources. I do believe that our administration has done a heck of a job in terms of how we treat our female student athletes. I do believe our kids are treated first class, and I think a lot of times you see at other schools that's not the case. And I think our female student athletes are treated really well here, and I love that. And I love that for our players, because that hasn't always been the case, because I played here myself. And so understanding that, but also the support that you get from everyone, not only from the administration, but from my fellow head coaches. And it's just been great being back and just seeing old faces and new faces, and just really getting in the trenches with my staff to make sure that we're doing things the right way and building this thing the right way.
I think your girls are such a good representative of not only you, but the program. I see them at so many other sporting events at all times, like supporting the other teams. Yeah. Like they're always sitting together, and they're all really tall. So you're like, okay, that's the volleyball players. Yeah. They really are just good representatives of, just embodying being an LSU Tiger. Do you kind of instill that in them?
I do, because I think it's a pride thing too, to make sure that we're supporting all the other sports and to make sure they're cheering loud for everyone else. And I think my team is a great representation of that in terms of the support that they give all the other student athletes. And it's fun to see them at those events and seeing them have fun and seeing them just being in the LSU school spirit, and I think that's really important.
What is the best piece of advice you've gotten?
Best piece of advice. I think there's 2 things that I've learned just throughout this coaching thing, and one is just to be yourself. You don't have to be someone else or something else just be yourself. And then I think the second thing is, we all make mistakes. We're going to make mistakes along the way. And so can you make mistakes, but also allow yourself some grace, because nobody's perfect.
Would you say, as a coach, just whenever, say it's game time and it's really intense, are you really intense, or are you more kind of like calm, cool, collected?
My first time when I was the head coach at Georgia Tech, I think I was a little too on the intense side. I think this time around, being here at LSU, I think I wouldn't say I'm relaxed, but I have a little bit more steady demeanor about myself and how I handle myself.
Yeah, a lot of coaches are different. A lot of them are like rah and like getting you all pumped up. What's been the most fun memories that you have as a coach?
Oh gosh, man, competing for national championships, or winning our first round match against Hawaii in 2022, or just seeing these guys, seeing our team, seeing them just do great things and be great people, and get out into the community and watching them with other younger players who have a desire to be just like them. And so I think those are some of the things I've been most proud of.
What do you like to do for fun? Outside of volleyball, coaching hat off, what do you enjoy?
I love to read. That's one of my big pastimes. I love music, especially gospel music. And I love the beach. When I can get to the beach, I go to the beach.
Any specific beaches your favorite?
No, I've been a little bit of everywhere. Mexico, Dominican, Gulf Shores. It doesn't matter as long as my toes are in the sand and the water feels good.
I have one final question for you. What do you want your legacy to be when your time is up here at LSU?
I want people to say that I cared about my players, and that we worked really hard to build this thing, and most importantly that we left it better than we found it.
I really appreciated you coming on the podcast. I enjoyed getting to know you and just the history and the legacy that you've built thus far. I wish you the best of luck this season.
Thank you.
Looking forward to you guys hopefully making that NCAA tournament. But thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Really enjoyed being on.